My feeling right now is that we're in a unique opportunity to really hone our craft and get very excellent. I think one of the big words for me has been like professionalism. A lot of us, and I would include myself in this, for years, is I've been an amateur. Hey, pay's still fantastic. This is an amazing business. But now is absolutely the time that I see the opportunity to really become a professional and really diving into building that professional network, the referral network that's not only dependent on one referral partnership or one segment of referral partnerships. And I think the work that we do now, really honing that craft, will set us up for, maybe a fantastic refi boom. If that happens, great. But if it doesn't, then we are coming up with new lanes, new opportunities to generate referrals that will help build business. And I think to me, that's what I'm most excited about, just that opportunity now.
Hey guys, Wally Elibiary. All right, so what is 24/7 mindset? Most times when you hear 24/7, you're thinking what? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just grinding, hustling. I learned over time, a 24-year career in mortgage and multiple other businesses that I own, is unfortunately, you'll get burnt out. I became an absent father, I became an absent husband, and I became a poor business leader because I was trying to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, trying to build a business, maintain a business. When I learned how to work smarter, not just harder, by doing things the best way it could be done, instead of just simply doing my best, I learned how to work only 24 hours a week, 7 months a year, while I got paid from the business residually 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can do the same. Welcome to the show.
All right, 24/7 mindset. Appreciate everyone's time. Super excited to bring someone that's really impressed me, Jeremy Owens. Jeremy is going to tell us a little bit about him, his mortgage career, and these ultra marathons he's doing. But also, my favorite part is going to be him kind of sharing his journey with 24/7 mindset. Then also on top of that, his coach, Dan Ellis, which is a phenomenal coach, what their experience has been with the client concierge system in the post-closing world. So let's start with, first of all, who is Jeremy?
Awesome. Wally, hey, thank you so much for inviting me on. I'm really excited to be here. So I have a beautiful wife, 4 amazing kids, and I live in Metro Atlanta and been in the mortgage business since April of 2007.
Wow. Okay. Was that a pretty good time to get in?
I mean, look, for me, it was perfect because I was just starting. I didn't know anything. I did not have really any responsibilities. So I had the chance to get in and learn so much and really learn the grinds. Like today, looking at the market, I mean, we have our own set of challenges, but, I was really able to cut my teeth in really hard times. So I think it was a great time to get in.
There's an old adage, only the strong survive. And people I started in 1999, rates were 11%, but I caught the refi boom from 11% down to 9% when the dot-com burst happened. And it was I was door knocking apartment complexes for 80/20 loans, so 100% financing loans. And then I was door knocking houses to get cash out loans, and then refinances. So a lot of hard work to be able to get that, but it was like win after win after win after win. But you look at 2007, 2008 happens, and I built a great business. I think I was doing like $25-30 million bucks a year as a solo loan officer in 2006. Then the recession happens in 7 and 8. And I remember coming home telling my wife when it all crumbled on us that I'm going to have to work twice as much to make half the money. I'm going to have to work twice as much to make half the money. And I'll never forget what she said. She goes, so? And it's like, and the point she was trying to make is, I know you can do it. Just go do it, because not everybody else out there will, and it will give you a competitive advantage in the marketplace.
It does, and having that support, from your spouse too, just what a confidence builder.
We were married 20 years, and there's no one on this earth that humbles me more than her. There's no one on this earth that inspires me more than her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but we've got the half. Oh, you're an overachiever. We only have 2 kids.
Nice.
So you got me beat there.
Oh.
Which, honestly, I'm okay with you beating me there.
Yes. That is fair.
All right. Well, so you got in the business 2007, 2008. All right. Tell me about how the career kind of take off and where'd you kind of go from there?
Yeah. So I started, of course, scratching, working hard, and made it through. It probably took 2 to 3 years to really catch on. And then I had a good business. I managed some folks as well over time. Kind of went back to being a solo loan officer, and I've settled in pretty much in the 25 a year range for the last 4 years.
Okay.
Obviously,
so
average is skewed a bit because I had some really great years with 2020 the COVID, but kind of settled back into more of the standard 25 a year range.
Are you enjoying life more now, being a solo loan officer instead of running a branch and having a bunch of loan officers work for you?
I am.
Yeah. It's comical how many times we see that from people.
Yeah.
I think we're young and we're ambitious and we want to keep driving. We want to get that next step and the next step and the next step. And before you know it, you realize there's a great adage that just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right.
And I see so many loan officers, the branch manager leaves for whatever reason, there's a new open spot. They get promoted to being the branch manager, but they've got no experience about being a branch manager or managing a P&L or any of that. But then they get put in this light just because they're the top producer of the branch. And it's the next step of leadership.
Yeah.
You end up seeing their production decrease. You end up seeing their potential amount of their production decrease.
Yeah.
So do you ever feel that was kind of your journey? You did less loans yourself because of all the other responsibilities you had as a branch?
Yeah. And I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I love the people that work for me. And I had it was an amazing opportunity to pour into people and really have that, have the weight and carry the weight of that responsibility. But I think that's exactly the ultimate outcome was this is fantastic role for someone. But that someone is not me. And I really decided to build and focus more on personal production and building the team.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to a loan officer yesterday I own a mortgage company here in Dallas called Aspire Mortgage Advisors. And there's a loan officer that we used to open up a location in North Carolina. And I was talking to him and I was telling him, I said, you've got 3 loan officers that work with you. And you want to bring all 3 of them over, but they all 3 combined do less than half of what you do production wise. Yeah. If you look at your income per hour wage. So if you take how much income you invest in these loan officers and you figure out your dollar per income wage, you make 4 times more on doing your own loans than you do on managing these other loan officers.
That's right.
And my response is, it fits the title thing, man. Be a solo branch, but you can keep your branch manager title for all I care. But do you want to close more volume or do you want to make more money? Right. And I think so many loan officers want this big production goal number and this big volume number as their title as a branch manager, but it sucks up so much of their time. Yes. But unfortunately, what happens, the people that have to sacrifice is usually our wife, our spouses, and our kids.
Yep.
Because they're pulled away so much. So did you ever have any of those kinds of experiences?
Man, you nailed that one on the head. I don't know how you figured that out. Peg.
I don't know. We're 2 drivers and we both want to take the hill. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at myself in the mirror
here. Dude, I think the two life-changing events. Number one, moving out of the city where I had a hour and a half one-way drive. Right. So tack on 3 hours a day of just driving. And so I moved a bit closer to an office. But then once I kind of transitioned out of managing, just the time available for spending with the family and spending that extra time with the kids and with my wife. Just a huge change there, and something that now looking back, I hate that I did sacrifice that time. What are you going to do now other than, just regroup and move forward and spend that time, making sure that I've carved that in, scheduling it in my calendar was a big lesson that I learned. Who knew that you needed to schedule family time into the calendar? But crazy enough, if you don't, other things tend to creep in.
I'll tell on myself for a minute. I would get in this bad habit. People thought it was bad. I loved it. I'm very blessed to be able to focus really well. So I'd come in the office early, and before anybody would get there, and I'd get on my desk and I just hit the phones, hit the computer, hit the phones, hit the computer, and you'd look up and it's like, I don't know, 2:00 in the afternoon, and you finally like go to the bathroom or something. And my employees and my teammates were like, dude, like, we appreciate you working hard, but it's okay to come out and talk to us. Like, are you mad at us? What? And what they're saying was, it's great that we're crushing it in business, but our culture sucks because our boss is like just a hard worker. And so we want to have a relationship with you, which I appreciated them telling me that. So I scheduled in my calendar, walk around the office time. And it was like at 11 a.m. and like 2:00 in the afternoon. It was like 5-10 minutes of just walk around the office. And I'm asking, Sally, how did little Billy's game go last night? And I'm making small talk.
Love it.
But yeah, who would ever thought that you got a schedule on your calendar making small talk with your teammates?
I mean, that makes so much sense though, right?
I mean, I'm there to crush it. And like, I appreciate little Billy had a great basketball game, but I mean, he's not going to make many money. So, but at the end of the day, no one's going to work for you. No one's going to work hard for you unless they think they understand that you care.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think if you look back at things, I had a really bad rude awakening in 2013. Have you read my book at all or no?
I have.
You have? Okay. So you heard the Alexander story. And my 5-year-old at the time, now he's a senior in high school on the way to Baylor. And he's 17 now. And he realized really quickly, like, I was sacrificing so much for the wrong reasons. Yeah. I was sacrificing my time with our family. I was sacrificing sleep. I was sacrificing the time with my spouse, all for what? Trying to close an extra $5 million a year and trying to reach another goal. And then you realize really quick, okay, so you got this big branch, you got this big, $100 million business, but what are you doing all this for? Wow. Like, and I think the ego got a hold of me, and the more production I did, the more I thought I was helping the family or giving a better lifestyle for the family. But when there's enough money out there that your family just wants your time.
That's it, man. That's so good. And that's like, I feel like that's probably a really common challenge. Especially, I mean, you're really not going to be an originator unless you're driven for the most part. And if you're not organized and you're driven, then add ego into it, like that's where I found myself in kind of that same spot, like no organization, driven, highly driven, and ego, and then oh my god, like.
Yeah, you ever see that? It's a meme. It's been around for like ages, but it was like two kids trying to like pull this wagon, and the wheels are like a square, and someone try to hands them a wheel. It's like a wheel, a circle, and they're like, no, we're too busy. And so many mentors would tell me all the time that it said, like, Wally, you got to learn how to work smarter, not harder.
Yes. And,
one of my mentors is Pat Mancuso, who was coaching me at the time, caught me on a bad day. And Pat says, Wally, you got to learn how to work smarter, not harder. And I just snapped. I'm like, dude, if I freaking knew how to work smarter, I'd work smarter. But I think I'm doing the best I can. He goes, that's the problem. You're doing the best you can. Yeah. You have not learned the best way it can be done.
Wow.
So when you learn to do business the best way it can be done, your business is built on best practices. Your business is built on high-level scripting. Your business is built on efficiency. Your business is built on effectiveness. Yeah. Your business is not built on doing the best you can, because just like I know, some days your best is here, some days your best is here, some days your best is here. Yeah. It's just inconsistent. That's right. Well, let's take the next 5-10 minutes or so, man. You can ask me everything, anything. So what's a question that you have that you're like, hey, I've really loved this part of the book, but how do you implement that? I know we're like, walk me through where I can add value to.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I I think the most powerful piece that I've seen at this point is the mortgage efficiency calls or the annual mortgage reviews, and really figuring out how to leverage those into additional referral opportunities. So I think the question is, like, what is that? What is the scripting? And maybe just kind of a brief, maybe role player scripting on how to approach a financial planner and really set the stage for the expectation of, hey, I'm going to give you referrals, but also that comes with the business expectation that we're in partnership. And how do I then solicit referrals back?
Yeah, I'll definitely take it a step further there. So you're a referral for me from Dan Ellis, which, like I said earlier, is an amazing coach, a great human being.
Yeah.
Now, what courses have you taken? Have you taken the Client Concierge course or the 6-Lane Highway course, or which one?
The Client Concierge course.
Okay, got it. So you're signing up with 24/7 Mindset for us to build out your CRM for you, us to do the Client Concierge, call your past clients, schedule appointments on your calendar. I'm going to take it a step further, and don't tell anyone this. Like, this is recorded. I'm going to give you access to the 6-Lane Highway course. It's just being released, and it's like 44 different modules of exactly what you just asked for financial advisors, CPAs, family will attorneys, insurance agents. I've got one condition though. You got to implement.
Yep.
So one thing that I really dislike about this role that I'm in is I never want anybody to feel intimidated. I never want anybody to walk away feeling, wow, that Wally guy is a cool guy. Dude, I've got ADHD, I've got dyslexia, and I've got dysgraphia, and I barely graduated high school. So there is zero college. I just work my way to wherever level I'm at right now.
Yep.
And I want you to look at, like, man, if not Yahoo Wally can do this, so can you.
Yes.
So email me asking for that. I think you and Caleb are working on your DocuSign thing.
We are.
And then from there, I'll get Stephanie to give you access to the 6-Lane Highway course, which
Beautiful.
you'll also hear with. And then there'll be scripting, there'll be video modules in there, and then there'll be scripting templates in there, email templates, and text templates.
Beautiful, man. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. What did you think of the Client Concierge course?
Yeah, I mean, it was a very eye-opening experience going through. So I had implemented the mortgage efficiency calls, except I call them the annual mortgage reviews.
Yeah.
And then I kind of have in the state of Georgia, we have a homestead property tax exemption. So I have an opportunity to kind of push that out for all immediately closed clients from the previous year, and then kind of digging into the mortgage reviews. What I had not done was consider utilizing that as an opportunity to draw out referrals to other professionals. So those conversations were more refinance focused. You know, can I help you rebalance? Are you having problems with tax and insurance? Do we need to look at any debt? Can I help you restructure debt? Or talking about real estate plans in the future. The purpose of those calls, right? I was scheduling appointments right and left and having those conversations. But then I got into the Client Concierge course and realized, man, I hate to say wasting the conversation, but I really walked away from that feeling like, God, I'm wasting a lot of time in a lot of conversation. I'm having the conversation, but I'm not eliciting and pulling out anything other than when it's time to refinance, we'll definitely refinance with you. And the occasional opportunity to refer out to like a contractor. But other than that, you know, totally just spending time on the phone, but not eliciting and soliciting actual referral opportunities. So I think that was the biggest takeaway from the concierge course is, wow, there's a lot more opportunity there to pull out that conversation. Yeah,
I mean, I think but what you've done still puts you in the 1% out there. And, you know, you're in the 0.00001%. Because you before, like, adding value to your past clients is something that very few loan officers ever do. But being able to add value to your past clients, so you pull out referrals from them that you refer out to your wealth partners, that you in turn get referrals back from those CPAs, financial advisors, family will attorneys, that you can turn around and refer back to your realtors as pre-approved clients. is massive because that's going to be your separator. That's going to be your differentiator in the Atlanta market.
Yeah.
You know, you see so many loan officers will see these big whale of like realtors, these big realtors to go after. Like, no, I can't add any value to them. They probably work with the loan officer for like 10 years.
Sure.
No, you know, like 9,412 different like limited beliefs around that. And one of my favorite stories is there's a mega agent, big realtor in town that does about $300 million in closings. She's massive.
Yeah.
And I tried to go after her probably in like 2019, and her response was, "Well, hey, our loan officer, our preferred lender pays $10,000 towards Zillow leads. If you'll do $15,000 to Zillow leads, I'll move the account over and we'll start referring you clients." And you know, unfortunately, most loan officers have probably jumped on that deal because she does like 150 million buy side a year. So she's like massive. But I said, hey, give me 30 days. Let's meet again in 30 days. And I think you'll be really happy with the results. Over the next 30 days, I referred referrals that I got from my CPAs, financial advisors, family will attorneys, insurance agents, my wealth partners. I referred her $37,000 in commissions.
Wow. That's awesome.
$37,000 in commissions. And now the conversation goes, hey, do you still want me to pay that $15,000 a month in the MSA for the Zillow leads, or do you want me to keep referring you $37,000 in commissions per month?
No brainer.
No brainer, right?
Yeah.
But then the conversation's different, and it costs me zero out of my pocket, right?
Yes.
Where I think most loan officers think to be able to grow, they got to spend more money.
Yeah.
And if you can't add value and you can't adopt this model, the 24/7 mindset model, then yeah, that's probably an accurate statement.
That's right.
But what's cool about what I've seen you do is you've adopted the client concierge model. You've adopted the 24/7 mindset model, and you're implementing it. And now you'll have more opportunities of leveraging our client concierge team to schedule appointments for you on your calendar, which frees up your time to be able to go out there and prospect.
Yep. Yeah, that's. I think that's probably the most exciting thing for me is having that opportunity to have the concierge calling through, scheduling those appointments, so that you're exactly right. I have more time to hit the phones, prospect, and getting out there. I just rolled out with you mentioned Dan Ellis, awesome guy. I've been coaching with him for over a year, almost 2 years, might even be more at this point. But really chasing like 3 things, and I called it content, calls, and consultations. If I can do that all day, content, calls, consultations, then I'm in fantastic shape. And I think a big piece of that puzzle is starting our concierge relationship. And man, I'm pumped.
Yeah, total squirrel moment. How tall? Have you ever seen Dan in person?
Yes.
Okay, and how tall are you?
So I'm 6'1".
Okay. I got you a hair beat. I'm probably 6'1" now. When it's 18.062. That's probably 5'11" now. But anyway, the first time Dan walks in, I'm like, holy moly, the dude's like 6'5". And I'm like, because we're Zoom friends. We did a lot of Zooms together, and then he comes in the office for Mastermind. He's in town, and I'm like, dude, you're freaking tall. Yeah, I had a small little sports car when he came in town, and he could barely fit in it. Yeah, I felt bad for him. So, well, good. All right. So, how'd you end up meeting Dan, by the way?
Yeah, I met him through a coaching program with Mortgage Marketing Animals. So Carl White. Yep. So I kind of rolled up in with Dan, and then just kind of stayed with him.
Cool. Yeah, he's an absolutely great guy. So, all right. You and I connected because I made a Facebook post inside of our community. What enticed you to reach out to me?
So a couple of things. Number one, Dan and I have been talking about the 24/7 mindset for some time. He actually kind of pushed me that direction, said, hey, you've got to check this out. You got to check out Wally. I happened to hear a webinar that you did, I don't know, 6 months ago. And then Dan just brought it up, almost like he was stalking my Facebook page. Somehow he magically pulled it up at just the right moment. And he introduced me. I bought the concierge course and had gone through it, had really started implementing, but still a little shaky, right? Trying to do things on your own after watching is one thing. Actually diving in all the way, something else altogether. So when I saw you live that night, I figured, I've been talking about doing this with Dan for the last, couple of weeks. Why don't I just reach out and ask? And that's it. So I just reached out, DM'd you, asked about it, and next thing you know, here we are.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, when you reached out, and I remember sending a message back, I'm like, one, this guy's brave. Two, he's working hard, but I think I could really help him work smart. And like once you see that, and then like I'm super excited to be able to partner with you and with your database and help you take it to that next level. But I would just say I want everybody to be encouraged by Jeremy's story. And if you're wanting help, or you wanting help calling your past clients to schedule appointments for you on your calendar, we've got a great concierge team that they'll do that. You want the scripts? Like, he paid for the course. I'm giving him a free course. That shoot me an email and remind me of that, and I'll get Stephanie to give you access. And the biggest thing is he took action. So he's you can't really see him right now, but he inspired me to get a treadmill for my desk. And I remember doing a Zoom with him, and this dude's just doing this. And I'm like, "Are you okay? Like, what are you doing?" Because I was walking. And it was pretty damn like we totally derailed the conversation. We talked about walking and exercise for quite a while. And I was telling him this morning, it was like, I was very proud of myself. I got like 3.7 miles in this morning before anybody even came to the office. I think I got here like at 6:30. By it was like 7:45. I was done off the treadmill, burnt like 300 some odd calories. And he goes, "Yeah, I do about 10 miles a day." I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm still proud of my 3.7.
Yes, absolutely. Any movement, you got to be proud of. Yeah,
that's awesome. Well,
it's fuel, right? That's the feeling that I've had over the years, is disciplining yourself physically really fuels what you're able to bring to your family, and bring to your work, and bring to your clients, your friends. I mean, just the way you show up. And it's been a huge part for me. So I think that's a huge encouragement to everybody. If you're not moving, get out, start moving.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, you're bringing your best to your family, and then I'm excited to partner with you. So I'm going to give you the closing thoughts. Where do you see the mortgage industry where it is now, where rates are, and the economy where it is? What's inspiring thoughts from Jeremy that you can really help and impact some people?
Yeah. So I think my feeling right now is that we're in a unique opportunity to really hone our craft and get very excellent. I think one of the big words for me has been like professionalism. A lot of us, and I would include myself in this, for years, is I've been an amateur and almost playing amateur ball. So, hey, pay's still fantastic. This is an amazing business. But now is absolutely the time that I see the opportunity to really become a professional, and really diving into building that professional network, the referral network that's not only dependent on one referral partnership or one segment of referral partnerships. And I think the work that we do now, really honing that craft, will set us up for, maybe a fantastic refi boom. If that happens, great. But if it doesn't, then we are coming up with new lanes, new opportunities to generate referrals that will help build business. And I mean, I think, to me, that's what I'm most excited about, just that opportunity right now that we have.
Well, I mean, what's brilliant about that is you're taking control in your own hands. I'm here in Dallas, and there's a local mortgage company. I'll leave their name out of it, but they did like $3.5 billion last year. Unfortunately, they maybe do like 1.9 billion this year. They had to lay off like 25% of their staff in December. They laid off an additional 25% in January. So now they're down to, half the staff that they used to have previously. And the remaining 50% that's left over all got a 30% pay cut to be able to stay. And so think about like how many lives that was impacting. And I was talking to the owner the other day, and I was explaining to him about the client concierge. He read my book. He was a CEO. Now he's asked me to come in and coach and mentor their loan officers because if not, his company is going to go under because you can't keep, you need human beings and you can't afford to pay them. So what's awesome about your story is you're taking a bad market, which you probably learned from 2007, 2008. You're only focused on what you can control.
Yes.
And then you're taking your controllables and you're making an impact with what your controllables are, which is all we can ever ask to do.
Yeah, that's it. Man, it's wild. You mentioned 2007 and 8. It was probably 2009. I was sitting in a conference room with then Countrywide. You remember that name? And just an awesome guy was talking to us, and he had a big whiteboard, and he just drew 3 circles: a giant circle, kind of a mid circle, and then a small circle. And he was like, the only thing you can control is what's in that tiny circle right there in the middle. Everything else is noise. And that stuck with me for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, well, I texted you earlier, so now you got my personal cell, so save that in your phone.
Awesome.
And then, man, I'll keep an eye for your email. But any loan officers out there, I really want you to take Jeremy's story. The dude started in a really difficult time. He's not intimidated about the time we're in right now. His business is growing. He's a sole loan officer. It's not like he's got a massive team, but more importantly, he's focusing on the right things that he can personally control. And he's taking those right things and really making an impact and investing in his business. So when the market comes back, he's going to take so much more market share because of the legwork he's putting in now. All right, Jeremy, I appreciate you, brother. Great to connect with you.
Thank you very much.
All right, see you. Bye-bye.
So thank you so much for listening today. It means a lot you took time out of your day. I don't take that lightly. Understand very clearly that you're very busy. With that being said, if you want to continue your journey and learn more about 24/7 Mindset, if you're on Facebook, which I'm going to guess you are, then go to 24/7 Mindset on Facebook and join the private community. I do coaching tips on there on a daily basis, but from scripts on there to systems on there, models, and the ability to be able to grow and scale a business while you have a quality of life. Hope to see you there.